Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Welcome to Our Region's Business with your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, Pennsylvania's new governor and legislature prepare to face up to an almost $2 billion deficit. We'll talk with House Democratic leader Frank Dermody. Plus, a startup here in our region has the ticket to some of the hottest shows in the country, and they're hiring. But first, the sold-out success of Bakery Square 2.0 and plans for even more investment in Pittsburgh's East End. Gregg Perelman is founder and CEO of Walnut Capital, and Todd Reidbord is principal and president. And welcome back. Good to see you both.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Congratulations again. I mean, it sounds like things are going pretty well out there in the East End.
Yeah, things are going great. We're finally be able to finish off our first building, Bakery 2.0. You know, big part of it. The current tenants are moving over, and we just added a new tenant, Autodesk. And they're going to be taking some space, basically closing out that building, Bakery 2.0.
So that's the one that's under construction right now,
yes.
Right on Penn Avenue, just across the street from the old Nabisco plant for people who know that part of Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a great new building. It's about 215,000 square feet. Google's the primary tenant. It'll be connected by this great sky bridge across Penn Avenue that you'll see going up next summer, and we're very excited about it. It's really the first new office construction at Bakery Square.
Which is really exciting, and yet it all kind of fits together. It feels like it's going to be very complementary to that 19th century industrial building across the street.
Absolutely, and it's now a 20-acre campus, and not only do we have the office component and the retail component, we also have housing. Bakery Living opened last June, 175 units, which is 95% full. And actually, we just started broke ground on the second living building, so we have another 175 units that are going to be built also on the Bakery 2 side.
Well, so is there much land left over there? It sounds like you guys are filling it up.
Well, we're close to being full. I think what the great success of Bakery Square 2.0 has been the kind of the public-private partnership. We put in all new infrastructure there. We had new streets, new sewers. It's going to be Pittsburgh's greenest development with rain gardens and bioswales. But we're shovel ready, so we were able to build the first new building, and we have room for a second new office building as well. So now that we're nearly full, we're really excited about opportunities to build even a larger component of office over there.
So you're kind of ready to move forward, looking for potential tenants in another new building, right?
Absolutely, we're out there marketing for the other 215,000 square foot building, and you know, as Todd said, we are ready to go based upon all our great partnerships we've had with the city and the county and the state.
Yeah, you mentioned Google, and that's been the big story out there. Obviously, it's sort of the flag on top of the one building where they fly. But really, there's other tenants there. Who's the right tenant? Who are you finding is the right tenant for this type of development?
You know, it's interesting. We've had that discussion with our friends at Carnegie Mellon, at University of Pittsburgh, and others. Pittsburgh is hot now. Pittsburgh has more tech companies interested in coming to Pittsburgh or expanding in Pittsburgh than we've ever had. So we're looking for the next great company that wants to come to Pittsburgh and recognize how great quality of life we hear, how great universities we have, and those are the kind of folks that we want to attract to Pittsburgh.
So, I mean, one of the great things about the location for the kind of companies you're talking about, close proximity to Carnegie Mellon, to Pitt, to UPMC.
Absolutely. I mean, we're within 2 miles of Carnegie Mellon and Pitt, and the fact that we run free shuttles back and forth between Bakery Square and Carnegie Mellon Pitt encourages that collaboration that we have between both University and Bakery Square. And we do have Carnegie Mellon's Software Institute there. We have University of Pittsburgh as a tenant, and we also have UPMC as a tenant. So, you know, we have the variety of all the top tech companies in our facility.
Yeah, it's funny. Who would ever have thought that the old Nabisco plant would become one of the great innovation centers, not just of Pittsburgh, but heck, in the country in some ways?
Yeah, I mean, it's about location, it's about proximity, it's about the new Pittsburgh. So we think that's being close to the university is always a good thing. And who knew when like you said, when we first came upon that site, that it would turn out to what it is today. But being close to the universities is always a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's easy to forget, though, now that you're basking in all this success, that this was a long journey. I mean, this was no easy task to make Bakery Square happen.
Absolutely. I mean, we started out, it was the roaring times of the tech boom, and then the recession hit. And we had very strong...
Not this last recession, really, but even before to some degree,
5 years ago, yes.
Yeah,
and
sure.
We weathered through the recession. We have great partners from New York that felt we could make it happen, and we weathered through the storm. And now we have strong retail tenants. We just got West Elm came to Pittsburgh as one of our another retail tenant as an anchor. And now that the office is really sold out, we were ready for the next phase.
Wow. Yeah, so now you can rest on your laurels, right? The hard work's done. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No, I mean, we're always looking for new opportunity, new growth. I think that there's still a lot to do here. There's still a lot of continuation of this great environment that we're building in the new Pittsburgh, and we're really excited about that.
I got to ask you about that, though, because I know there's been some question recently, because there's been so much residential, multifamily residential construction in Pittsburgh, because there's been demand for it. I mean, every building I hear about is full, but I have also heard, I don't know, are we starting to get ahead of the market? How do you guys see that?
Well, we think that if it's a great development and it's a great location, there's always going to be demand. And we just feel in this quarter of Oakland, Shadyside, Squirrel Hill, East Liberty, we feel like it's a very, very strong market, and there's always going to be that demand. And we're very confident about that.
Yeah, so who is living in those apartments? What kind of people are finding their way?
It's really interesting. It's one thing great about the apartment business. We know everything about our tenants, because when they come to us, they have to tell us who they are, where they live.
Well, and you all, Walnut Capital has a lot of apartment interest. This is a space you're real familiar with.
70 to 80% of our tenants are new to Pennsylvania, which we think is fantastic. They're really coming here for the universities, for their first job. Maybe they're working downtown for one of our great employers. About 80% are in their 20s and 30s. Wow. So we seem to attract a relatively young demographic. It's interesting, if you read all the recent publications, this is where the market is moving towards. People are wanting newer product, they want smaller product, a lot of amenities, a lot of social interaction. I read an article that said in New York City there's over 13,000 new apartment units coming online this year. So Pittsburgh will take a little piece of that. So when people talk about being overbuilt, I don't think that's the case in Pittsburgh.
Well, really, you think about the newer people coming into the region, just different tastes perhaps than some of us old-time Pittsburghers have.
Well, they want good amenities, they want great locations, they want easy transportation, good transportation nearby, and it just seems like this is the right market, and we have a great location, so they love it. It's been fantastic.
It's exciting to see it happen. I drive through there at least once a week, and it's been so exciting. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Achievement. Gregg Perelman and Todd Reidbord from Walnut Capital. Thanks.
Thank you.
And next up, why ShowClicks has clicked with the ticket-buying public and why it's creating jobs right here in our region. Stay with us.